Hey guys. So today, as you can see, I'm making, I hope I'm allowed to say this, a very classic recipe. But instead of making beef and stout pies, I'm going to make beef and no stout pies because, well, I don't like it. I made something like this, a recipe from a different book, like this, a while ago. And it became a very livery taste and we didn't like that. So instead of the cup of stout they told me to use, I'm using an extra cup of beef stock. Sorry, but it's a pity if you make something and you're not going to eat it because you don't like the taste. So I rather make something that's good in the end instead of having to throw it away. Because normally, in my opinion, when you make a recipe for the first time out of a book like this, like I never made this exact recipe, but something like it. But the first time I like to follow what the book says, normally. Because then you know how to change things to your liking. But yeah, just to be sure, I'm not going to bother with this stout because, yeah, the beef is expensive. Buff pastry is expensive. I don't know why, by the way. Yeah, I don't know why. The same reason I'm not going to bother make it myself. Never did it before, so maybe I should. But let's read the part. And the first sentence, it has a lot of commas, so bear with me. The Irish love their main course pies hot, warm or cold, eaten at home, in a restaurant or outdoors. These individual puff pastry pies are made with richly flavored meat stock and stout, usually Guinness, which the Irish claim is the only dark ale suitable for cooking beef. So, yeah. What I understood is that the Irish are very proud of their Guinness, so I can understand that, why the book says it, but the book said it, not me. Anyway, let's start. Let me check for a moment. Yeah. I think I've got everything good to go. So fingers crossed that this is going to be a smooth video. Anyway, combine the flour, salt, pepper in a bowl. So I've got a bowl. Let's put the knife aside for a moment. And then let's put these aside for a moment. The flour. So I've got 30 grams of flour. I've got 6 grams of salt and 2 grams of pepper in here. Let's keep this and toss the beef in here. So I've got 500 grams of beef. I'm very comfortable, by the way, making this with the beef because it's going very good at my job. So if you were wondering, it's over a month now, and I really like it there. I have nice colleagues. It's not the most, how do you say it in English? Well, it doesn't challenge me. So I feel like I have to find something besides my job that is going to challenge me. Like in here. So I started running again. Oh, that's horrible. After my half marathon, I think I went running once and it didn't go well. That didn't go well either. So I stopped again. And now yesterday I did 5 and I walked a lot because it was very rainy and very windy. So, but yeah, I hopefully can do the rest of the recipes every week, 1 or 2 maybe. we'll see how things go, but yeah, I feel good, confident. Everything is going fine at the moment. So heat 3 tablespoons of oil in a large skillet over medium-high heat. So fire this up. I've got well, let me see how much this was. 10 milliliters of oil. Let's heat that up for a moment. The beef looks like this. So let's take this one because while that's heating, cook the beef in batches and transfer to a flame-proof casserole dish. Deglaze the skillet with 1/4 cup of stock and add the liquid to the casserole dish. So here's where my English is failing me right now. What's a casserole? I've got my phone here. Let me see what a casserole dish is. I think this is something like this, right? But a big one. How do you write it? Gas met E, casserole dish. Build. Yeah, I think I was right. Look. So anyway, beef. Let's give this a swirl. So I think I just have to put it in a casserole dish to, how do you say it? To be able to use the pan for something else, to deglaze the pan. The fun thing was, by the way, my grandmother was over for tea yesterday and we were talking about our holiday, and then we were talking about where to go next time. So I'm thinking of Trelew next time, but to get there is a journey. It's like to Mullingar, I think if I go by car, it's like a day drive if you keep on driving, just with the ferries and everything. And then we go under the water from the Netherlands to England under the water, and then you drive, and then you have to take a ferry 2 times, I think. I looked at it years ago, but it's in County Kerry, I think that's a bit farther. So yeah, that's the plan for next year. And the thing is, I hope I can go when there is a run again, like a half marathon or 10K or something. That would be, if I can combine something like that again. But there are so many places I still want to see. And part of me is like, I need to go to Mullingar again because of the half marathon. So that it would become a yearly thing, you know. But to see different places, yeah, I really would love that too. So I have to save my money where what I work for, and that's buy all the nice things for myself, and then put everything in a travel account. Let's get these. Let me see. Oh, Could have taken a little bit longer, but almost on my mushrooms. So I googled the mushrooms because the book said cremini mushrooms, and I've got like these brown ones. But the thing is, in the Netherlands we call them kastanje champignons, so basically chestnut mushrooms, which I've heard people say too. So is that something American, England again or something, or because this book is very American with the cups and the everything. So let's put this. Take these out. Anyway, oh yeah. I was thinking what was I talking about, but I was talking about the mushrooms, but yeah. Right. That's the thing with recipes sometimes too. It's like, what does it mean? Is it the same? The same with the meat. I've got a problem with the meat too, as you might know. Like, do I have the right cut of meat? And I know that a lot of recipes are really forgiven in what kind of things you do. It's like, if I couldn't find the brown mushrooms, white probably would be good, the normal ones. So yeah, that was all of the meat. So I had to quarter these, but I don't think they're still a bit big, but. And then I needed onions. I've got 250 grams of these mushrooms. I've got, let me see, 160 grams of onion, which I have to chop too. Let me see how. Onion coarsely chopped, so let's do that. I have no idea what coarsely means. I have to look it up. Maybe I feel like I already have looked it up once. Now I forgot it. So, but I think I'm just going to do it like this. While the beef is cooking with my trusty knife, which already cut off my finger once, which is going great, by the way. My finger. I don't have any feeling in the top of my finger because, well, you can see it. I don't know if it's visible, but I have this. No, I don't get it to focus. This top part is like, it looks like a blister right now, but yeah. I cut the top of my finger off, and then I put the little top that I cut off back on, and then I wrapped it. So my GP said it would fall off, but it never did. And now I've got this like blister-like thing on my finger, which bothers me sometimes because when it's hot, my fingers swell up, like most people, I think, and then it's in the way because it's, oh, I don't know. Can't really, the language, this video is going pretty well except for my language right now. I should. And what I'm noticing now is that the second batch of meat is cooking differently than the first batch, because I took all the oil out, obviously. So yeah, that's a bit but it's okay. So I've done everything. Let me open this for a moment. So I have to deglaze the pan, but I don't think it's really necessary if you can see it in the pan. This one. So I'm going to skip that step because it's not necessary. Maybe my first thought is my pan wasn't hot enough, the oil wasn't hot enough, so yeah. Okay, so now I have to cook the onions and the mushrooms. So and I've got time on my cutting board, and I think that's already going a bit in. But, well, it has to go in anyway later, so. So I'm making 2 of these, well, one for me and one for the boyfriend, and then I'm making a small one to taste later. So let's give that a rest, a little bit higher. So I'm going to pause the video because otherwise I think it's going to be a very long one, because this needs, it says 6-7 minutes, and I think I'm done. There's not much for me to do in the meantime, so I'm going to pause it for a moment, and when we're ready to move on, we'll move on. Okay, we're back, and I thought I was filming and I clearly wasn't. So I cut some of the mushrooms a little bit smaller. Let me check. Yeah. I probably pressed stop instead of continue. Anyway, and then I added my, you see, my stock. So half a liter, little over half a liter of stock. I added 70 grams of tomato paste. That's like one of these. I don't know if you have that size. And my thyme. So I think what I was saying before I realized I wasn't filming is that I think I have too much thyme in here, but out of my experience I never put enough, so maybe too much right now. So the stock is in here. I'll bring to a boil. Do I have to, let me add the cook the onions and the mushroom for 6-7 minutes until soft. Add to the casserole dish with the tomato paste, thyme. So I have to put the meat in here back too, I think. Oof. surprised that went well. Meat juices. So let's bring this to a boil and read for a moment. And here I thought everything was going great. And then you made a stupid mistake like this. But anyway, adding ingredients to a pan isn't that bad if you miss it, right? Okay. Medium-high heat, bring to a boil, then simmer with the lid slightly askew for 1.5 hours. So, yeah, I'm going to do that off camera because, well, I'm going to do other things and then you'll be watching in an empty kitchen. Check the seasoning. Next step is drain the mixture in a strainer, set over bowl, reserving the liquid. Let rest until cool. So maybe I'll do that off camera too, and then come back when it's cooled. But this, to be honest, this looks good. It's more of like a winter dish if you look like this, but okay. And then I have to preheat the oven, or maybe that's for the lunch one. I am going to do that in the meantime, but let's continue and not go too far ahead. So I had high hopes for this video, but there are things going wrong. Life happens, right? Anyway, I'm going to put a lid on this askew and then wait 1.5 hours. Okay. So it's cooled down. It's still a little bit warm, but this is what it looks like right now. I did add some water halfway through, and it said drain. Let me see. Drain the mixture in a strainer over bowl, reserving the liquid. Let rest until cool. Well, it wasn't much liquid. It's more of a thick sauce right now. So, and then when it cooled down enough, when I was able to touch it, I got some gloves and I took out these kind of fatty things because we don't like to eat them. That tastes pretty good. So now I'm going to fill these ones. Oh, and a tiny bit in this for now. Just to be able to taste it. Because, well, the thing is, the recipe says it's served 4, but I think this is 2. Or I did something wrong. Or okay. Let's divide it a bit. Like half. Oh, I don't need to do a taste test later. That was good enough. So puff pastry, we get them already in these kind of shapes. Right. And then I have 2 of these for the bigger ones. Let's do it like this. So this looks like this. Let's press it down for a moment. And then let's do this one real quick too. And these are whole wheat puff pastry, because I don't know what's happening with the store, but that's the only thing they had. But puff pastry is puff pastry, right? These two are done. Oh, and now I'm messing them up. Dinner and lunch. Well, there's a tiny bit. It says trim the edge with a fork and make 3 oh. Just like this. Just to make sure it's sealed right, and to make it look pretty. And I thought it was a wintry dish, but it's pretty cold outside, I think. Well, cold. I think it's 17 degrees Celsius, but with yesterday, warmth of yesterday, this feels cold and it's raining. Okay. Bake for 20 minutes on a 220 Celsius oven. And then bake for an initial 5 minutes on 200. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press this for a moment. Do I need to make a, yeah, make it down the middle? So I'm going to poke the middle just to let the steam out. Well, I'm going to cover those. Those is ready for tonight. Put that one in the oven, and well, when it comes out and cooled for a few minutes, we'll have lunch. Okay, it's out the oven and it's still really hot. I already opened it to let it cool. It's a bit brown, maybe too brown. Well, oh no, I used to hold it. But this is just puff pastry. So oh. Piece of meat. Sometimes I think about becoming a vegan or something, because animals, but then things like these happen. This is so good. I don't miss the Guinness. I'm sorry. I don't know why. Yeah, I do know why I don't make it up more often. Because this meat is so expensive. But yeah, this is good. I like this, and it's not even that hard to make. Mushroom. It's hot. Let me put it on. So. So good. I don't know what to say about it. Typical beef bun, I think, with toast out. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know how I should serve this. I've got some peas with it now, or tonight. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon, hopefully.